No.
Just like the best of friendships, the deepest and most intimately connected couples create bonds through hundreds of very ordinary, mundane moments in which they attempt to make emotional connections.
Oh my gosh, we got a great story here. We're going to open up with Counselor Heather Beer with Valley Christian Counseling Center is here to discuss 5 habits of deeply connected couples. I think habit number 1 is making sure you've got the right bride's dress color, right?
Bridesmaid's dress.
Bridesmaid's dress, yes, color.
Yep,
So,
that's very important.
Wait, let's back up for a minute. You just said off the air.
Your husband was mad at you for changing the color.
Yep, it went from periwinkle, kind of like the color of your shirt,
Okay.
to navy blue, which is not a huge difference, but he wanted to be included in that decision. And
That's
I was,
impressive.
at first I was like, good grief, man. And then I was like, well, that's really great that he's that
Yeah.
he was that involved. He wanted to be involved.
Is he like
so.
a semi groomzilla kind of thing? or-
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Oh, I was like, oh no.
No, he is like the most chill, like go with the flow person that I know. So.
I've met him, I like him.
Yeah.
He's on the
Nice.
Christie stamp of approval list.
Okay, good.
Yep, so kudos, Chris.
Okay, so let's go on to what makes couples deeply connected with each other.
Yes, so as I was going over these things that I found this lovely article through my favorite thing, Pinterest. But it came kind of from the Gottman Institute for Relationships, which is really good. John Gottman is one of the relationship gurus in the States here. And so as I was thinking about these 5 things that really speak to how couples can stay connected and continue over the course of the lifespan of their marriage, I was thinking about the couples that come in to see me when they need couples counseling, when they need a lot of help, maybe they're on the brink of like, we're not going to make it, and how these things are absent, just so obviously absent. If we look at the first one is continually learning about the other person. And so that really talks a lot about curiosity. I think we've lost the art of curiosity. I've said that before on the show, and when we're dating, when we're in the engagement phase and the dating phase, we're still very much curious. We want to know everything about each other. We stay up late at night talking on the phone or whatever, just like, oh, what were you thinking? And what did you have for supper? And, like all of the little details. And it seems like at some point, not too long after the wedding, we don't know always, when that happens, but that just kind of dies off because life just kind of kicks into gear and you got to go to work and you got to feed the dog and maybe a baby comes along and all of this stuff, and the mundane stuff takes over, and instead of having just the normal everyday conversations, you get stuck on Pinterest and Facebook, or you get stuck just maybe commuting, all of those things. So what happens then, you have to create some space. You want to create some space to ask those questions again. So some really good deep questions to ask are, what was your experience of loss as like a pet or a loved one, as a child? Like, did that ever happen to you? That's a really good place to start. How can I be a better partner to you? That's a really good question. That's a scary question, I think, but a really good one. Another question is, what was your happiest or saddest or most frightening experience as a child? Going back to those early memories, I think can create that sweetness of, like shared time together, like we kind of bond over some memories and things like that. The second one is sharing intimate knowledge of yourself. So this is the vulnerability component. It's just the opposite end of being curious and continually learning. So if we're talking about being vulnerable, that means that we have to risk, and that means that we have to take a little jump off a bridge to say, okay, I trust this other person to hang on to my kind of scary, vulnerable information, and that creates trust. So that's part of what that is when we're being vulnerable, and then it builds the trust in the relationship.
Okay, well, we have more on the 5 habits when we come back.